Fuck Phat and Spicy.
The Phat and Spicy Show, rocking the airwaves. Don't...
Is the worst that we got from the storm the rain?
I don't think it was the rain, dude. I think it was I don't even think, like I said, we didn't even get much of anything over here. So I can't even say it was rain. I think we got like a couple of drops and like that's about it. I think we definitely came out.
Was worse for you.
You guys
Yeah, definitely.
live.
Yeah, we definitely came out worse with the last one, dude. So, but I think, like I said, the Florida's probably the people who got hit the worst out of everything. You know, like those guys. I can only imagine, dude. They had tornadoes on tornadoes on tornadoes. It's just wild.
I saw some of those videos, dude. That's creepy. I've
Dude.
never been in a tornado. Have you?
I've been in a tornado. No, I've never been in a tornado.
No, you jerk. I don't mean that. I mean, have you been
There.
around? Like, have you seen
Like,
one
in the proximity?
Someone?
Yeah, I've seen like I've seen them like start to form. You know, I've seen the funnel, but I've never been
You've
like
actually seen the funnel?
Yeah, I've seen a funnel form before. You know, in Georgia, you see those kind of stuff. But as far as like looking in the distance and being like, "There's the tornado," no.
Okay.
Not that I can remember.
Twister,
I mean,
no twister moments for you.
Yeah, no, nothing like that. I'm not handcuffing myself to a fucking drain pipe, a whale pipe, whatever it was they handcuffed themselves to or tied themselves to.
Did you see the remake Twisters?
I have not, dude. I heard it was good.
I didn't see it. It's all CGI. I know the first one was, but it was like that groundbreaking CGI. Like the new stuff.
Yeah, I heard it was
like,
one of the best movies to see for like the is IMAX theater? Is that the one that
Yeah.
I heard it's
Have you
one
ever
of the
been to an
best
IMAX
movies.
film?
I think I went one time. I think it was I'm trying to remember what I watched. I know I went one time. I just can't remember what it was. I think it was at Disney World. And
that's all right, dude. It's next level. I love it.
I can't.
It's something. It's like even so, like at the beginning of the IMAX film, they tell you all about it. Like there's this, and like 3 projectors up there doing whatever they do, and then they're like, and then the sound system, and they light it up, and then even behind the screen, like they'll light up the screen in a weird way, and it shows all the speakers behind it, and it's a huge screen, like bigger than I've ever seen. And it sometimes, man, when you're like there was one where you're going over this field, and then it drops off a cliff. I swear my heart went up into my throat.
Are you talking about the like the little ones that you go in, like the little theaters with the
No. It was a big IMAX theater. It was like a 60, 70 person theater, but it was just a huge screen. But it was so vivid and realistic that like when that drop came off and the camera went down.
Does your seat actually like move too?
No. You just sit there.
So I did a 4G or 4D or whatever it is, a 4D, and like I watched what's that movie? Panther. What's that movie? Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like whenever the like flowers came, you could smell the flowers, and then like whenever you go down and move, like the seats would like move with you. And like if you like spritz with something, then it would like little spritz you a little bit.
You spritz me in the middle of a movie, and I'm walking out. You can have that.
Yeah.
No, yeah, like I've been to the little small ones like that where you have like the little where they like a little short movie and then you're just kind of like But like I said, I think the one that I went to at Disneyland or Disney World, I don't know which one's close to me. Whichever one's in Florida. And
Disney World.
Yeah, so I went to like that one. It didn't really do much of like the seat moving and stuff like that. It was just like you felt the mist, you felt the air, and maybe it was a movie I was watching. you know, it was just. But I didn't get to experience like the whole thing.
There's a old parody movie from the 70s called Kentucky Fried Movie. Anybody
I
see
thought you were
it?
gonna say Men in Tights. I was like, yeah.
No, from the 70s. And
Men's Ice was good.
Kentucky Fried Movie was all about it was like little short films made by comedy filmmakers. And one of them was the ultimate experience, right? So you sit down and it's like, "Oh, Frank, it's good to see you." And this guy's behind you and he sprays the perfume, you know. You smell the perfume in the air. And then she's like, "It's so wonderful." "No, I can't." She smacks him. Then the guy comes in, like, "What are you doing here?" Puts a fucking knife to the guy's throat, you know, and he's anyway, it was this whole interactive experience, but it was too much. It was a great scene. If you guys want to look that up at some point in your life, guys, check out Kentucky Fried Movie, interactive movie scene.
Kentucky
It's pretty
Fried
good.
Movie, dude. That's crazy.
It's a good film.
I don't get it. Like, I don't doubt it. So it was basically, was it like them bringing somebody up and then like they were just kind of like acting it out on the person that?
Yeah. So you sit in your chair,
Okay.
and this guy wears like an usher's uniform, like the old movie Usher with the buttons. And the hat,
Oh, okay. So it's
stands
like your
behind
own
you.
personal
Your
experience.
own personal,
But
right?
like,
So
okay, I get
he
it.
sprays the perfume in your
I get
face.
it.
He holds the knife to your throat. He slaps you in the face when the chick
I
slaps the guy.
gotcha.
He's
I
pretty
gotcha.
good.
That's funny. Okay.
Don't watch that movie when your kids are around, though. It's not safe for anything.
For anything.
What's safe?
No,
dude?
it's not
What's
safe
what,
for
what's
anything, but
safe
it's a good movie.
nowadays, right?
There's a cute
mean-
scene in there where the newscaster comes on and he says the Exxon Valdez has solved their oil crisis by mining children for oil, and it's got suction cups on the face of teenagers just sucking out their pimples.
Yum.
It's a dumb movie, but for the 70s that they made something like this, it was
God.
pretty good.
That's crazy, dude.
You know what we didn't do?
What?
We didn't do the intro. These guys don't know who we are.
What do you mean? They of course they. It's on the top left corner up there. Look right there.
Are you sure? Oh, it does say Phat and Spicy Show.
See? See
I
the
see Laws
Halloween?
put up the Halloween decorations early.
Yeah. So
You couldn't wait a week?
Fuck no.
it's all of October, dude. It's all of October,
Halloween all of October.
dude. You know what
Halloween.
you know what I tried for the first time today, dude?
What? Candy corn.
Pumpkin spice like coffee.
How was it?
No, it's horrible. It's not for me.
Yeah, I can't dig on it. I tried it. My wife got the creamer. I
Yeah,
don't care for it.
it's not for me, dude. I was like, and maybe it was just the fact that I forgot what pumpkin tastes like, pumpkin pie, because I'm not a big pie person. I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I'm not a big pie person. Look,
I know you. You're a big pie person. I know
No.
the pastries you get.
look.
I know. Laws and I both know how many pastries you get
No,
and where they come from. By the way,
pie is not one of them. So like, look, it wasn't up until recently. When I say recently, maybe 2-3 years ago, that I just started eating pecan pie.
my favorite
Pecan.
pecan.
Pecan pie.
Pecan.
Hey, I got a
What's
question.
wrong
real
with
quick.
y'all? Yeah.
Real
Yeah.
quick. Spicy. How do
Yo.
you say the word ALMOND?
Almond.
Okay. Because
Almond
there's
joy.
some
Not almonds.
California people who
No.
say almond.
Nope. There's some
Well,
California people I know that say vegetables.
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 Vegetables, no tea.
If you go down, I picked up this lady, and I used to drive taxi in this little small town when I first moved here. And I picked up this lady, and she goes, "We have to go to the food bank today." I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." She goes, "They got the best vegetables on Wednesday." And I wanted to correct her so bad, I thought it was a slip of the tongue. She said it like
You wanted
3
to
more
slip
times
you
on
the tongue.
Maybe she was doing like a little thing to get on your nerves. She's like, yeah, about those vegetables. And
No,
you
no.
just like, sit there, take
Oh, I
it, kind of
thought
like
so.
Stewie.
Yeah,
Who whip?
right? Who whip? I thought she was fucking with me. At first, I thought it was a slip of the tongue, so I'll let it pass, right? The second
Mhm.
time, I'm like, "Oh, you're fucking with me." But 2 days later, I picked up somebody else, and they said, "Today they got the fresh corn. The food bank always has good vegetables." And I'm like, "Is vegetables a thing?"
I've never heard of vegetables. I'm not gonna lie.
Vegetables.
Neither.
How-
Yeah,
How do you say it? How do y'all say it?
vegetables. I don't say vegetables.
Yeah, I mean, well, what's the the correct pronunciation? Is it vegetables? Vegetables?
I think if you say it according to this, what are we talking about on this show? Jesus Christ!
I'm just saying because I know for a
No,
fact I
you're
say it weird as hell. I say vegetables.
That's what I say. Vegetables.
It's
almost
like
like
VECH veg.
Yeah. Vegetables.
Stubbles, yeah.
But in the
Vegetables.
kitchen, we just say veg. Like,
Veggies.
do you have that veg ready? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
we're
Just-
like,
it's
you
just
got that vag? Oh,
Well, I mean, it could sound like that, but we try not to get sexually harassable in the kitchen.
Yeah, in the kitchen especially, right?
We all take sexual harassment training. I'm like, oh, why do I need to be trained? I'm perfect at it.
Jesus Christ.
sexual harassment?
Yeah,
You're perfect at it?
I'm great at it. How do you think I married my wife?
It's like, what are
I'm not going to tell you what I said because we'll get canceled. But Spicy's
Oh,
got away
goodness,
with the ladies.
How did you woo your wife, dude?
Honestly, I made fun of her date.
So she was on a date with somebody else?
She was on a date with somebody that was couch surfing with us,
Couch surfing.
and
Wait, she was
couch
on a
surfing.
date with a couch surfer? That's
she didn't
weird.
know any different. It was back in the days of like AIM, AOL Instant Messenger, and all that stuff before you.
Wait,
I don't
couch
even think,
surfers was back in the day?
huh?
Couch surfers has been around since then?
Couch surfing has been around since the fucking 60s, 70s, man. That's
Like
what
the
the hippies used to do.
website couch surfers.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh.
I'm just saying it was some dude we all knew that that lived on our.
So couch surfing is basically going couch to couch, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He's like, I have no place to live. My wife kicked me out. We're getting a divorce. Can I sleep on your couch? Yes.
Okay.
So he slept on our couch, and he met this girl on I think it was AOL Instant Messenger or something, and they started talking and whatnot. Brought her. Yeah, exactly. If you look at the chat, ASL, yes.
H6 location.
Yep, you remember those days.
I do, dude. I do. Trust me.
He brought her over to the house. Just he had to go get his keys or something. He came in, and I just started making fun of the guy. You know me. You know me. I'll find the lowest comedy.
So
denominator
let
and
me
shit
ask
about
this question: like, was
And
it
she liked
you
that.
trying? Was it you trying to
No.
like make an impression?
No,
Was it you just busting the guy's balls?
it's Jason. I just
Maybe low key, you were kind of jealous.
no, dude. It had nothing to do with that.
No.
Low key, he
I
was like,
already
I
had a
want
girl.
that B.
He's like this dude.
I had
This
no interest in her. That was my buddy's girlfriend. What am I gonna do? I don't care.
he's like this
Then
bum
they
right
broke
here
up.
is on
Can I
our
finish the
couch.
fucking story. Jesus Christ! You're nail me to a cross like
That's
Jesus
so
over here. I haven't even finished. So they break up.
Okay,
And
okay.
she
This
knew
bum.
my name. She heard my name once, so she's fucking scoured looking for
And
me.
now she's screaming your name.
I don't know when. That doesn't happen so much anymore. We got too many kids, man. By the way, my daughter turned 13 on Thursday, and my
birthday.
wife turned
Don't
I'm
say
not
it.
gonna how
Don't say
old
it.
today. Happy birthday to my wife. Salute. I love
Happy
you, baby.
birthday, Mrs. Spicy.
Mrs. Spicy, man. 40 again for I can't tell you how many times.
21. All
That's
over
right.
again.
All over again, baby. No, but she just liked the attitude, like when you can
You're gonna
grab
be
the
couch
reins
surfing
and-
here. You don't watch your damn house.
no shit, right? Wait, I own the couch.
It don't matter.
It don't matter. That don't matter, does it? We all know it don't matter. Laws is just over there. She's like, I ain't gonna say shit because I know I'll bury Spicy.
Let's see. But oh man, congratulations, dude. Like I said, but you were saying though, so she remembered your name and then she found you. Did she stalk you?
We went
wait.
out on a date and
She
actually
remembered
went
your
on a
name, but she was living on your couch, or she was in the same house, right?
no. My buddy was living on my couch
Where was she living?
at her apartment
So how did they meet?
on
Hey.
AOL.
Oh, yeah, I've been paying attention.
I mean, all right. So, I'll for all those that weren't listening, I'm going to start at the beginning. So it was back in night. No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, yeah, she looked me up and we started talking
How did she look you up though?
on.
She was
Yeah, I
like,
am by my name.
Okay.
"Oh
Yeah.
Okay.
So we started talking, and actually, she hooked me up with her friend. She goes, I have a friend that I think would be fun to go out with, and blah, blah, blah. We went out, didn't hit it off, but she, I guess, enjoyed my company. And then she hooked me up. We hooked up. And
Wait,
been
was
together
she
ever
the
since.
third party in your date with her friend?
It was a double date.
Oh,
Hey, that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I said, it's
You know
crazy.
how people meet people. Sometimes it's a crazy story, and sometimes it's just us, just people just being people. Like I don't have any it's not like some epic romantic tale like where, she pushed me off of a door after we floated on a sinking ship or something.
I like chloroform too. Absolute.
Jesus.
Hey, does this smell like chloroform to you?
Oh Lord, no, we do not. We do not do that.
No. The views expressed on Fat and Spicy Show do not represent BNS Studios.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. Should we say that? Oh my
Well, it was
god.
good to see you. We missed you last week.
Yeah, I was busy.
Or on Tuesday, I mean.
I'm sorry, I was working.
We get it. You got to make that paper.
Yeah.
Jacob had some weather and work-related issues, so we thought we'd just take last week off. I wasn't feeling too hot anyway, so it's kind of better that we
Oh,
all just
last
rested
week.
up.
You don't mean Tuesday.
Oh, I meant Tuesday, but then also we were off last week, so I'm just letting the people know,
Oh.
Just a recap.
Jacob refuses to move out of these crazy weather areas.
You had work.
When the show takes off, dude, I'll move. I'll move to somewhere that has all 7 seasons. I'll
It
experience it all.
wasn't
What's
weather
seven?
related. It was work.
All
related,
21st.
wasn't it?
Wait, what
Yeah.
7 seasons are there?
Huh? You got obviously mid-January,
Mm.
February.
You got Cuddle Buddy season. You got Shed the
Yeah.
Cuddle Buddy season.
Exactly.
You both of you are dumb. I fucking love you both, but I hate you both sometimes.
Oh my god, dude. No, but like
Right,
I said,
so-
I mean, I do. Eventually, I do want to move. I do want to move to somewhere that has, where I can experience the snow, I can experience fall. Me personally, I've never actually seen snow. Like
What?
we've had, like, shavings of ice come down and the grass be covered a little bit.
You've
But I've
never
never-
stepped in snow up to your ankles?
No, never. No. And I think I would enjoy it. I mean, my house stays cold all the time. I think it's like 60 something degrees and 60 degrees in my house right now.
Dude,
Sorry.
2000, I want to say it was 3. My first wife was working late. She was a nurse. And it's about 9:30, 10 o'clock. And I really wanted a beer. And up the street, you had to cross the street and then go through a parking lot. And then at the other end of the parking lot was a bar. And I called them up in the middle of a blizzard. Like, are you guys open? And she goes, yeah, we're about ready to start last call in about 10 minutes because the weather's getting bad. But if you can make it up here in that time, I'll get you a beer. Who is this? I'm like, it's Anne's. She's like, I'm on my way. You get up here.
Let me get the
So I go.
chloroform.
They know me. Yeah, right. By the
They
time I
know
get-
me. He does not have an alcohol problem. They know me.
Not at all. By
They
the
know me
time I
by
get to the
first-hand
bar,
basis.
do you know what a boonie hat is? Like the Navy SEALs and the Army Rangers kind of wear those floppy hats, By the time I got there, and I was wearing my golf cleats to get through the snow and ice. By the time I got there, the freezing rain had frozen a literal shell of ice over my hat. My fucking pants and shoes and everything were soaked. I went in there, I had one beer, they closed it down, and I walked the fuck back.
You're kind of a nerd, aren't you?
I'm an awful person.
That doesn't sound like a nerd. That sounds like an alcoholic.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, I'm getting thirsty.
Sound like a
over here.
nerd. That sounds like, he said, I walked through a blizzard, freezing temperatures, to get a beer.
It was less than a half mile. Don't give me shit.
Less than a half mile, dude. It
Why
was
were you
already close.
wearing-
It was close to last call, bro. You know how late that is?
Yeah. Well, no, they were closing.
How early that is? Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
got
yeah,
you.
yeah. But they
was like-
still had people in the bar, so they can't just be like,
I thought it
everybody.
was like 2 a.m., 3 a.m.
No, I'm not going to go up there at 3 a.m. Not at all.
That's when the booty calls, though.
But I was married. There's no booty calls when you're married. The sex stops after
There's
2
no
weeks.
booty calls
As it
when
should.
you're married.
No, like I said, the sex stops after 2 weeks, which is customary in Italian culture, so we're fine.
Can we start new cultures where the sex doesn't stop after 2 weeks?
Why?
Why?
I got shit to do after that.
Are you being legit?
No, of course not. Lozzie. I made Lozzie face palm.
I mean, no sex after 2 weeks of marriage.
I'm
Why would
joking.
you even
It's
get
like that. What I
married?
always say. All I ever hear in my house is "Get off me." It's not your birthday.
It's better
What are
than
you
what
gonna
I
do?
hear. I hear chirp, 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 chirp.
Wait, you dating parrots?
I'm dating
I
crickets,
love you.
apparently.
Oh boy. Anyway, after all
There's
of that,
no comments where I'm from.
there's no comments.
No comments.
So after all of this, we've come far and wide and high and low. And Jacob, who's making the hurricanes, man?
God.
I'm just saying.
Um, who's making the hurricanes, dude?
Who's
Right?
making the hurricanes? I'm reading
I
all
have.
kinds of shit online now today about like Marjorie Taylor Greene and all these people talking about like that we're doing this and it's all man-made.
I mean, we talked about that last show, dude.
I'm just
We talked about it
we
Tuesday.
are, but
We
is
talked
it
about
okay
with
for
DARPA and we talked about cloud seeding and stuff like that. And I
but
mean,
I want to know if
again,
it's okay for our political people to be talking like this.
at some point, these political, what do you call them, dude? I don't want to say icons. They're just the people that we put in charge. They want to know. They don't know. They don't know anything either. They only know as much as they're told. They speculate just like us. So in the end, everybody wants answers, dude, because everybody feels it. I think down to the fiber of their being that something is not right. You know
What
what
do you
I'm saying?
think it all started?
Everybody has that gut feeling, and I think a lot of people, especially a lot of the viewers and a lot of people at home that even don't even watch the show, are feeling something is off. Something has been off for the last few years.
Now,
If you
when you
want to
say
get down
off, are
to
you
it,
talking like in our current political climate, or do you mean like in the world as a whole for like the last 100 years?
in the world as in a whole, in the world as in a timeline, in the world as in a whatever you want to believe in, energy balance, whatever you want to believe, whether it's energy, whether it's timeline, whether it's science, we have not been heading in a good direction at all.
Why stifle the science for the people? Like I saw a podcast the other day, and I know it's stupid, but they were, oh my god, freaking fashion model Laws up there.
No.
She comes in with the hair. She's looking like spicy hair over the shoulder.
No. I'm just doing my hair.
So,
Now I lost my
Stop.
mind. I've lost my train of thought.
you said you were watching a podcast.
I was watching a podcast, man, and they were talking about current political climates and how people care about the these conspiracies that you and I love to talk about, right? Like they fascinate us, whether we really believe in them or not. I don't believe in 90% of them, but I was trying to figure out where it all started, and I'm wondering, do you think it all started with the Roswell thing in the 40s?
You
Do you
would
think that's
what
when we really,
conspiracies?
yeah, like when we really stopped trusting what the government said? Because like, oh, it's a
So
UFO,
so
then it's not a UFO.
let's break down the concept. Let's do it this way. What's a conspiracy in your mind? What is a conspiracy?
It's what it is. It's a group of people conspiring to hide or promote an agenda.
So what makes something a conspiracy? Right? Are you saying it's essentially people coming together and saying false and trying to like spread false narratives? Is that what you're telling me?
Look, the first thing they said when the first thing the newspaper said and the Air Force said when they got to that wreck was it was a spaceship.
So it's really funny
And
because
but then the next I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, but the
no, you're
next
fine.
day they issue a press conference saying it was a weather balloon. We were wrong.
So what's really funny is I actually had this conversation, like legit this conversation earlier tonight. And I was talking about like Area 51. And I said, oh, that was the first place or whatever. And they said, actually, no, it wasn't. In Florida, what's that? The Panhandle was the first sighting of alien.
Really?
Yeah, like an alien sighting was in the Panhandle of Florida, is what I was told tonight. Whether that's true or not, like I don't know. But they said like Area 51 was the whole, government taking action kind of thing.
So it looks to me like right now the biggest news story out of this is the Gulf Breeze UFO sighting, which took place in the 80s. But that's just what that article said. I just did a quick look. I didn't do a deep dive.
Yeah.
But even before that, we had that pilot that was out at Mount Rainier that saw those things. I mean, so I don't know. But I've always thought that it was an attempt to cover up stuff that we have.
So it's saying that the first UFO sighting, now, I don't know if the Google machine is correct or not, but hypothetically, we believe the Google machine. It says the first sighting occurred on June 24th, 1947, when a private pilot, Kenneth Arnold, claimed that he saw a string of 9 shiny, unidentified
one I was
flying
talking about.
objects. Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, just now, the one over Mount Rainier, yeah, in
Mhm.
Washington. And that's where they asked him what they look like, and he said they look like saucers skipping on the water. And so what do we have? Flying saucers, baby. He coined the term, that man.
Yeah. But back to what
but
Fatsy was saying, like, what is a conspiracy theory? I think it's exactly what he said. Exactly. Is just people getting together and claiming that something is untrue, and then it develops, it's like a rumor. Like, somebody says something and then it just kind of evolves, like it just grows.
So
do you think aliens are here, Lousy?
with that,
Sure, I do. Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah. I think we forget them. Like what we were talking about
Sorry,
the other
Patsy.
week.
You're good, dude.
I think all of us have seen them 100%, but I think we forget them. I think they have the ability to make us forget.
I'm going to need you guys to look into this light right here.
Exactly.
So welcome back to the Phat and Spicy Show. We were talking about how awesome it is to watch cool, funny movies.
But listen, there's
to the
so
light again,
much. There's
the
so
light.
much outside of, like, there's beyond the fucking planets, beyond everything. There's so much. How are we the only? It just doesn't make sense. There's so much out there. How are we the only beings?
I just don't know that they can travel all the way here.
Yeah,
if you hit the speed of light, you're going to gain infinite mass. I mean, that's the theory of relativity. So you can never reach the speed of light.
Maybe they're more advanced than us.
Now there's talk of not being interplanetary, but them being interdimensional. Are you guys familiar with Flatland?
Like the world is flat?
Mm-hmm. So there's no. Not like the Earth is flat.
No, like.
But it was a theoretical book written back in the 40s or 50s. I don't know when it was written, but it was called Flatland. It was about these people who lived in two-dimensional space. So if you look at someone, they're a straight line to you, even though they're round. You know what I mean? But you can't see above 2 dimensions. But now we're in 3 dimensions. So we can actually look down on them and see through them. What do the 4th dimensional beings see when they look at us? Can they look through us? And you know what I mean?
The movie Interstellar?
I love the movie Interstellar. It's one of my favorite movies.
So essentially, I was going to say, if you don't know the concept of what he's talking about, if you go watch the actual movie Interstellar with Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
That was him, right? It was Matthew McConaughey, right?
Yep.
Okay. So go watch Interstellar. It's a hell of a movie to watch, and it's definitely one of those movies that kind of leaves you there sitting there thinking. But if you're interested in knowing more about that theory, go watch Interstellar.
What about the 4th kind? Have you guys seen the 4th kind?
Love it.
Oh my god, that scared the shit out of me.
So did Fire in the Sky.
The 4th kind was a different kind of creepy.
Yeah, that's the best part.
Spicy's over here. Spicy's gonna get started on the invasion of the body snatchers.
Somebody come snatch my body because it's been a while.
Jeez. Okay. All right. Take the bike away from Laws.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, we are doing it. So the title of tonight's episode is Secrets Unveiled. How long has it been for you, Laws?
No, we're not. It's not.
How long has it been? Like legit? No. You want to know?
No, we don't.
Are you going to tell us?
I will tell you. It's been 2 years.
I've gone longer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
about you,
they're
Jacob?
your whole childhood. What are you talking about?
I'm not.
I've gone 18 years.
Yeah, right.
You
I went
silly
14 years without.
God.
2.
Oh shit! Did I just let that slip on the Fat and Spicy? Can we edit that? Laws, cut that out. That
All right,
don't say
I'm
that.
on
Nobody's
it.
editing nothing. We're gonna enhance it. We're gonna pay for
What
that.
about you? How long has it been, Fatsy?
For what?
2 hours.
How did we go from aliens to this?
30 seconds.
They're both supernatural. Sex is supernatural.
That's why he was late tonight, because he was,
Supernatural.
Wait, you were late tonight, Laws. Maybe you broke your 2-year streak.
I tried, but it didn't work.
So, anyways, back to some actual topics for these
Yeah.
nuts over here. But I think going back to, like I said, what we were talking about originally with conspiracies, at what point does somebody deem somebody conspiracies? Somebody deems somebody involved in a conspiracy. It's easy. It's easy to dismiss anything. You could sit here and see something, and I'd be like, oh, like for the longest time, people were like, people watching my house, and they'd be like, no, nothing's going on, people watching my house, and all of a sudden, okay, these guys are conspiracy, and all of a sudden, these people go missing.
Yeah.
Like at what point do we cross the line and sit there and instead of gaslighting these people and calling them conspiracy theorists, and actually try to look a little bit further into it. It's easy to dismiss somebody off as crazy. It's easy to dismiss somebody off as, insane and just out of their mind completely. Especially when it comes to something you don't want to believe or you choose not to believe. I mean, for the longest
Let
time,
me tell
people.
you when it becomes.
If I was to tell you that they were finding dead bodies or dead bodies of infant children in the bay containers in the ports, you'd be like, you're crazy, but it happened.
Okay. It's when you start promoting things that you can't prove as real, and you can believe in whatever you want, but it's when you start teaching this to others that I have problems.
So, like I said, if I told you that and didn't offer any proof,
I would have. If you offered me proof, I would see your proof. I would
But,
make
but,
an
but that's what I'm
objectionable-
saying. Before the proof.
Well, the first thing I'm going to say is, what's your proof?
Exactly. So there you go. So I'm a conspiracist.
No, not at that point. It's if you're like, I have no proof. I heard this on TikTok and I'm telling everybody about it. Then you're a conspiracy nut. But if you're like, this is what I have, I did some research, I looked this up, and this is the proof I have, then you're not a conspiracy theorist. You're an educated person.
Okay, so
with
what
an
do you
opinion
do?
that's been
So what do you
informed.
do with things that happen to yourself, things that are you yourself seeing, trying to explain to somebody else?
I think you go to Reddit and you see if anybody else have
Swear to God.
experience. No, I'm serious. Like you go to another outlet, you go to a social media outlet. Like these days, if you have something that's happened to you, go to another social media outlet. And I feel like it becomes a conspiracy when you find somebody who backs your story. You like find someone who's had your same experience.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm trying to get at. See how easy it is to classify people as conspiracists. So you
Well,
try to
yeah,
go
but-
and you try to validate what you know to be true, what you've seen, what you've experienced. You go to try to validate this, but the only way you can validate it because you have no proof. Most of the times, if something happens to you in the middle of the night, whether you're abducted or whatever like that, you see something in the corner of your room looking at you. You see a shadow go by. You hear something. You don't have your phone out. You're not right there like recording it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Most of the time.
But you know what you saw. You know what happened to you. So you go look for validation. You say, look, this is what happened to me. Has anybody else experienced? Now all of a sudden you got somebody else that maybe experienced the same thing. Now it's 2 people. Now 3 people. But you're looking for validation. You're looking for proof. But
okay.
when you bring that proof to people and they say, oh, you're a bunch of crazy conspiracists.
Science can prove the night. The what do you call it? Sorry about the glare off my glasses. You're just gonna have to deal with it. Science can prove the sleep paralysis. We know what that is.
Oh, that's a whole nother topic.
But it is a whole nother topic. And
Mhm.
but like I'm saying though, it's been debunk this whole there's an actual entity in my room. I don't know, man. I'm just saying I've had those same feelings, right? Where like you're lying in bed, there's this thing in the corner of your room, and you're like, what the fuck is this? I'm scared. I felt it there,
So
Laws.
okay, so I see
It
what you're
was there.
saying.
There was
see
a
what you're
thing
saying.
crouched in my corner. I didn't want to look at it. I didn't want to
Mhm.
move my sheets, but then when I tried to move my sheets, I couldn't.
It's all psychological, right?
But that's when I remembered. I'm in a state right now between dream and awake. Let my body just deal with it. And I fell right to sleep. And I woke up in the morning and the sun was shining and I didn't get eaten by the thing in the corner. It was all in this fucking weird gray matter we have up here.
It's funny you
Our
say that
brains are
because I legit just had that conversation as well with somebody about how I have sleep paralysis or night terrors. And I realized that, like, the way I get myself to go to sleep is to say to myself, like, I know there's something in this room right now, but the worst they can do right now is stare at me.
Right.
And that's how
And-
I go
and-
to sleep.
But let me ask you, because I felt it too. Like, and I've had that legitimate fear in my heart that there's that fucking thing in my room.
Mhm.
And it's got a hat on and it's got the red eyes and the fucking teeth and it's hovering over my bed.
Yeah.
But in the morning I wake up fine. I
So you
fall
know that's
asleep and then
crazy
I have dreams.
is that you're not the only person that has that experience. So what do
Yeah.
you say to that? What is that? Is that everybody just chalked up to craziness?
Yeah, we all have the same brain. We're all evolved from the same
We don't have
blob
the
of
same
goo.
brain. We don't have all the same brain.
Most of us do.
That's why there are IQ tests, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't have the same. We don't have the
Yeah.
same way of thinking.
Okay, that's
You know
not
what I'm
fair.
saying?
That's not fair. I had
Is it
dinner.
not?
No. I had dinner with a mathematician. And we were sitting at a dinner party, and I said, "You've got to be the smartest guy in the room." You know what he said? "I'm the smartest guy in the room about that thing."
Mm.
But that's
Exactly. But that's his brain working in that particular
it
way.
on that one subject. But if a lot of people are having very common experiences, like, have you ever had deja vu, the two of you?
Yeah.
Mm.
100%. So have I. So has every other listener that's listened to the Phat and Spicy Show.
So what do you
every
chalk
other
deja
person-
vu up to be?
The brain waves, just getting things confused, or
Past
looking at things
life.
differently. And no, I don't believe in past lives.
So you're saying brain waves getting things confused.
What happens when you turn a computer off?
It goes to
There's
sleep.
no power to the brain shuts off, and that's it. It's black. And that, to me, death, there's no afterlife. It's exactly as it was before you were born, is what it's like before, after you die. I don't fear death. You know what I fear? I
The
don't even
unknown.
fear missing my loved ones. I fear my loved ones
Right.
missing me. That's what I fear. But the
Mm.
actual death itself, once I've lived my life and whatever, I think it's going to be as bad as it was before I was born, which wasn't terrible at all. So who gives a shit?
Well, Rizzo is saying that science has no idea what sleep paralysis is, and he has suffered with it since he was a child, and his doctor doesn't know what it is. Doctors can try to explain what they think is happening, but they don't know for sure. They don't know why, and there is no treatment or cure.
There is no treatment or cure for it. It's just like how can you treat a bad dream?
So how can science help then? How can science be the ultimate thing that we chalk up and say, hey, this is what it is? But guess what? Now, since science understands things and that's what science is the process of breaking things down to
Come on, man.
understand it.
Science understands global warming, and they're not
So,
doing it. The
but
politicians don't let them.
so
do
if you can do it, why not? You know what I'm saying? Why can't it be done?
I mean, I have night
You know,
terrors.
why
and-
why does the CIA look into lucid dreaming if it doesn't exist? If there's no thing to
True.
it?
That's very
You know
true.
what I'm saying? So why
because
spend
you
all
don't
this
know unless
money?
you experiment. You
So
don't
why spend all
know
this
unless you
money?
experiment. But they did experiment, and they found there's not a lot to it, so they let those programs go.
So
Well-
exactly. So you sit there and you say that, okay, so the government was willing to believe this.
The government's
Because
willing
why?
to believe anything. Hitler was willing to believe anything. Everybody who's in power is willing to believe anything to keep their power. And they're going to look into it, and if there's nothing there, they're going to stop wasting money on it, which they did.
You don't go into a position of power believing everything, bro.
Bullshit, you don't.
No. That's
You
not how
have
you
to
do
take
it.
worst case scenario on everything.
If okay, so
Everything.
so you go and for instance, per se, Hitler didn't go believing everything. He believed what
The
he
fuck
believed.
he didn't. He went
He-
looking for the Holy Grail. He's trying to find occult magic to win the war. That fuck he didn't.
Okay, so again, because you are because it's unknown to you, you believe it's crazy.
No, I didn't say it's crazy, but you're saying he did that they don't go looking for this stuff. I'm like, the fuck he didn't. He tried to create
Exactly.
us,
I know.
whatever the bell was, and
He
he's
went
looking
looking for
occult stuff.
power.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that it's true, that it's there.
So how do we know it's not true? How do you know
Because
it's not true?
who's found it?
So I looked up here about we were talking about specifically conspiracy theories, right? Before we were talking about why some people are willing to believe conspiracy theories. Excuse me. And I found on the American Psychological Association an article about people can be prone to believe in conspiracy theories due to a combination of personality traits and motivations, including relying strongly on their intuition, feeling a sense of antagonism and superiority. Excuse me.
Correct.
That's the
Correct. But
word.
this is science. This is science trying to explain something. This is science trying to find a
You're doing
reason.
what you asked. You just asked them to do
But
that.
listen,
She did. She read it.
listen. This again. You're talking. You're comparing apples to oranges here. You're comparing followers to people who have actually experienced this.
Who's experienced it?
Do you think
Exactly.
these
So how can you
scientists
sit there-
have experienced it, or do you think they're just studying it?
They're just studying it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're studying
Well,
something that
there's-
they don't believe exists.
I mean,
Jacob,
I'm not saying whether they believe it exists or not, but some of these scientists, I don't think have experienced it. I think they're just studying the idea.
So
Let
how
me-
do
let
you
me-
study? How do you study something?
let me
you've
break
never
it down to
experienced?
you like this, and I'm going to put this in a question for you, Jacob.
How do you study
Yeah.
AIDS? You don't have AIDS.
If the perfect, she's right. If the perfect algorithm existed, or not the perfect algorithm, but like say, dude, Jacob, today I came up with the algorithm that's going to put our video on the top of YouTube. It's got to be right. I'm very sure it's right. Let's try it out. Would you try it out?
Yeah.
There,
Just
you just
test.
did a scientific experiment to see if it worked. And if it didn't work, then guess what? Spicy was wrong. And I'm like, I'm wrong. But you got to try to figure it out. Scientists got to look at it, even if they don't know. Even if
Well-
they've never had the experience. I've never been at the top of a YouTube algorithm. But guess what? If I think I've got it, we're going to try it. It's the
Yeah.
same shit.
Well, according to this article, that researchers have analyzed data from 170 studies involving over 158,000 participants, mainly from the United States, United Kingdom, and Poland. They focused on studies that measured participants' motivations or personality traits associated with conspiracy theories thinking. Like,
The one that I hear the most, that I feel the most is I know it's like the flat earth theory, right? Like you can believe what you want, and I hope that it gets you through your day. But to me, it's like the whole world thinks this, but I know that this is right, and I'm better than all of you.
mhm.
That's what it is. It's a sense of feeling more important than everybody else for whatever reason you got in your heart to believe some bullshit. Now there are
But what if
some
it's not
conspiracies-
bullshit though? Like, you don't.
Well, there are some conspiracy theories that I actually buy into. Did we go to the moon? Yes, we did. But did the videos that we showed the American public actually, was that us on the moon? Probably not.
Mhm. Did you see that movie that just came out?
Yeah, I did. I
Yeah.
watched it in full. And that's kind of where I had some issues with it, but some of it made sense. But I'm just saying, look, if we weren't to make it up there, like say the space shuttle crashed on the way to the moon with the Apollo astronauts, we wouldn't tell the Russians that. We were in a space race, and we have film that we
Oh,
filmed in
no,
Hollywood
yeah.
to show them. We went to the fucking moon. But the problem was we did go to the moon. We have the data. We have the science. We have the files. We have the personnel. You going to tell me that those 450 people that worked on that program all kept their mouth shut about a huge conspiracy? Do you know anybody? The only way to keep a secret that 3 people carry is if 2 of those people are dead. Plain and
You-
fucking simple.
I think you've been watching too much. What's that TV show?
I don't.
Can you?
I'm
keep
just saying,
it?
man,
It's
you-
a secret.
It sounds like you're being a conspiracist right now, bro.
Maybe I'm being a conspiracist, anti-conspiracist. I just don't think. I think people are wasting too much time worrying about the bullshit, and not enough time worrying about their own lives.
I agree. I can agree with that. I think
We actually agree, Lozzie.
yes, because I
Wow.
think that there is a
Fat
time.
and spicy exclusive.
I do agree that some people just hyper fixate on these ideas or these conspiracy theories, and it's just like, what part of your life are you not happy with, bro? Like, like what I'm saying, like it's just like I feel like everybody's focused on these idealisms or these conspiracy theories that are just like, you need to focus on yourself
Let
because
me
the
ask you.
things.
Okay,
Let me
so
ask you.
you can't, but you
No,
can't
I
sit
want to
there.
ask
You
you.
can't sit there and blame people for wanting to know more. You want people to
No,
focus on this little bubble that they
that's
have
true.
that is called their life. And then how do you expect progress to happen? If everybody in the world focused on the little bubble that was around them, there would be no
But
progress.
I feel like people who are conspiracy,
Conspiratorial.
yeah, I feel like those people, they like hyper fixate on these conspiracies and they don't give a fuck about their personal life
Yeah.
So
whatsoever.
how many times has a scientist hyper fixated on their idea and literally drove, and that this was their life,
But
this was their
when you
whole entire life to prove this thing existed that they could not see, that they couldn't understand, and now we praise them as being one of the fathers of one of the
because it was
forefathers
proven
of
right, but if it was
exactly. But if
proven
they
wrong
didn't
by peer
fixate,
review, it wouldn't even be.
if they hadn't fixated on it, and if they would have worried about what was in their little bubble, it would have never happened.
Well, I'm
Okay.
not saying that
All
you
right.
should worry about what's
Okay,
in your
please hold on.
bubble.
I'm sorry so much. I'm sorry. I love you. But hold on. That if you and I hadn't fixated on starting a fucking show and worrying about how to get it up there and when do we do this and hadn't turned on the mics that one night and
That's a
fixated on
little
how to
bit
get this
different.
business off the fucking ground, it never would have happened. We did it and we're here. But we're not saying we're better than anybody else. We're trying to reach the steps that it takes to get up there. We've got laws on our side. You've got you, an amazing creative guest. We've got me, a loudmouth asshole. We've got the perfect combination. So we've put it
Mhm.
together and we're trying it out. If it's proven to not work, at some point we're going to have to stop, just like science does. If 13 people come out and say your research is wrong, maybe your research is fucking wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, have you heard some of these celebrities sing at at the start? At the football games. Have you heard some of these people do the national anthem? And they're superstars. They're making money singing, and they do a horrible job at it.
They
Yeah.
fucking
Who's gonna tell them it's time to stop?
That everybody. That's what social
But
media
Yeah.
is for, and they do it in
are they
droves.
stopping? I feel
Roseanne
like they're
almost
still
got
singing. I
canceled
feel
over
like
it.
they're still doing it. They're still making money.
Well, you have 1,000 good ones and 3 bad ones, and the 3 bad ones are the ones that get the press.
Rizzo is saying that every advancement in science should be credited as someone who worried about something outside of their lives. While I agree with that, I feel like conspiracy theories, and maybe I'm getting lost in like translation here or something, but I feel like some people like hyper focus on conspiracy theories and they like lose touch with their personal lives. I'm not saying that you should completely focus on your bubble and focus on your personal life, but I feel like some people, they just lose themselves in these conspiracy theories and they become these like, I don't even know the word for it. It just
See,
becomes
I know what you're talking about. You're
a
talking about
little insane.
going down the rabbit hole and getting stuck.
Yeah.
I understand what you're talking about. And there are those people that go too far. There are
Yeah.
other people that go too far, but people go too far in everything. You can't chalk it up to everybody being crazy because when people went too far, people eat and they go too far. People starve themselves and they go too far. People obsess about every little thing and they go too far. I mean, look at religion. One of the best things that were supposedly happening, and they went too far back in the day, killing people, and trying to convert people, But again, everybody, and you can't chalk it up to those because everybody there has every group, no matter how good, has those group of people within that group that go too far. The same way that sometimes we'll sit here talking and we're a group of friends, and sometimes one of us says something that goes too far. At some point, we all go too far. But at that point, you make a decision. You say you reel it back, and you find yourself and you catch yourself, or you just go off and then you just become this nut. You become this person that nobody wants to be around. You go too far. So you can't chalk that up and say that it's everybody because of
No,
that.
and you're right. I was wrong. It's not everybody. 100%. I think
So
it's just some
me-
people allow that to take over them, and I don't think that's healthy.
One thing I notice about these conspiracy theories is they don't benefit anybody in particular.
Until
like,
they're proven right.
Hold on. Look at the flat Earth thing. They've been hiding this for
When
years,
have they
right?
been proven right?
Okay.
Hold
Okay.
on, wait,
How
let
long?
me finish.
How you guys just talked about it. You just agreed that the videos from NASA were fake. But for
I
how
didn't
long?
agree.
But how long? But how long did the people sit there and say the videos are fake? The videos are fake. Oh, you're crazy. You're crazy. You're crazy. It's conspiracy.
They're still saying it today, so it's everlasting.
But we know the benefit, right? So the benefit to that conspiracy theory is that we beat the Russians to space. Okay. We won. No, that was the benefit of that conspiracy. You have to look at the benefit. What's the benefit to a flat Earth? Who does that benefit? Who makes money because they were misleading people that the Earth is round?
Nobody.
Nobody. It's bullshit. It doesn't make any fucking sense. 9/11. Why? How do we think that was done by our own fucking people?
Because you
It was a
had
bunch of
people
pissed
that.
off people from one country that got mad and flew some planes into a building. But now all of a sudden there's this and this and this.
So again, you like you said, you go and you test things that you know, and you have these people that are professionals in demolition and stuff like that. They go and look, and they say, no, this was a controlled. This was a controlled demolition, because they've done it all their lives. They look at it, they analyze it, they look at the way the metal bends, they look at the way that the pieces fell, and they say, no, this could not have been done like this. So at what point do you say that somebody that's done this their whole life, and you look at them and say, no, you're wrong. I've never done it. You're wrong.
Jesus Christ. I can't even start on this. We don't have enough time. We literally have 6 minutes left in the show for another 3-hour conversation. You really want to start this right now? Because
I'm just saying. Just saying. At what point? At what point do you sit there and be like, hey,
my time, baby. I got 3 hours to go.
So hey, that's what I'm saying.
So this article says here that even though many conspiracy theories seem to provide clarity or supposed secret truth to confusing events, a need for closure or a sense of control were not the strongest motivators to endorse conspiracy theories. Instead, the researchers found some evidence that people were more likely to believe specific conspiracy theories when they were motivated by social relationships. For instance, participants who perceived social threats were more likely to believe in event-based conspiracy theories, such as theories in the U.S. government plan by September 11th, rather than abstract theory that, in general, governments plan to harm their citizens to retain power.
Okay, so the only thing that I complain about with the articles that you read and you're consistently reading is it's consistently leaning to one side. It's consistently leaning. No, it's consistently leaning to the side that says, "Hey, a credible source, no doubt." It's consistently leaning to the side that says, "Hey, these people are just simply believing stuff because they've been persuaded to." Let's focus on this area. We're not going to talk about the people, the other percent of the people. Let's not dive deep into that. Let's focus on the people that were essentially just persuaded because they felt something. And we're going to focus on that because that makes everybody look crazy. Because that makes it look like it's ridiculous.
I agree with you. I think there should be two sides of the story here. But
so why isn't there? Every article you've read so far has been one-sided.
Well, that was just one article.
You read one before.
You read one article.
No,
There's
that was the same article.
That's the same article?
The same article, yeah.
Yeah, she's just...
Because you said this article. I didn't know if you were talking about this article, like a new one, or
like
the same one.
The specific one that I've been talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me do a final countdown real quick. Between the two of you.
Countdown.
I like that.
I gotta put my sunglasses off. I'm gonna rock out. All right, enough of that shit. Laws.
Yes.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Jacob.
Are you asking me the same question?
Yeah.
Do I believe in ghosts? What?
Do you believe in God?
I will say this. You know, the loosely term that you guys are using, like these guys up here, these
No,
things
just
are here.
very
No.
generic.
Do you believe that a
Okay.
person passes from this earth and can come back as an entity that
I don't
can
think persons
manifest?
exist. You know, I think persons or bodies are just sacks of meat. Now you're talking
Do
about
you
souls
think
and
like the souls, the spirits of somebody becomes a
You
ghost?
know what the fuck I mean.
like I said, well, you're given a very loose term. Like I said, to what I
God
believe
damn
is
it.
very. I can't sit there and
You're-
agree because you're not allowing me to to decide what I
All
I
right.
agree.
Can you be very specific with
If you want
facts?
Do you
general answer,
believe that
then
somebody
yes.
can walk into a basement and see a spectral entity that looks like a person?
It looks like a person.
Mm-hmm. Like silhouette form of a person that has passed.
I mean, possibly. You know, if that's what the choice that's the shape
Why
it
you
wants
gotta
to
make
take.
it so different or
Because
difficult?
it's hard to agree with general idea, general concept. Because that's because how people become conspirators. You know, like
I think
because
there's different like levels of ghost.
I get that. Okay, hold on.
Yeah. Okay.
Laws.
Yes.
Do you believe in fortune tellers?
Yes.
Jacob,
no,
can people see the future? Fortune tellers? Can they tell?
I believe certain pacts can be made.
Okay.
Packs?
Certain
Like-
You think it's a
deals.
demonic pact
Like
that somebody makes in order to tell the
pact
future?
with, like
And
the devil, and you can tell the future.
I believe there are certain things that can give you certain power like things that make you feel certain things.
you
I
believe that
think-
if you rub an egg all over you and crack it open, if there's blood inside, it's taking the spirit away?
I believe there are many things that we have lost within the years that we've been alive that have been taken from us, hidden from us. Especially a lot of herbal remedies and stuff like that that have been pushed to the back of the back fronts of pharmaceutical companies to make you buy their drugs that can actually help you, that can cure you. So when you think about that, you can't sit there and say there's not a lot of ancient knowledge that has been keeping from us, or has been
Kept.
taken from us, has been kept from us.
Yeah.
So that's where
Okay.
the aspect that I come from.
So if a
Okay,
if
well,
a
let me
man
tell you the
can
point of why I
raise
asked you that.
himself, okay.
You believe in that stuff, both of you. I don't, but you do. But never once have you guys brought that up in general conversation since I've known both of you. It's never been a part of who you are.
It's
The
never
true
come up.
conspiracy, huh?
It's never come up.
Right. The true conspiracy theorist brings this shit up when you don't ask for it. They want to preach it. They want to shove it in your fucking face.
We'll
And the
say
minute
that.
you say one thing, then they really just bleh. Like,
Yeah, it's like my
what would I
brother.
hear?
I
Somebody
can
who does a
agree
vegan?
with that
Yeah.
because
A
I will
vegan?
sit there, yeah.
What was it? A vegan, a vapor, and a CrossFit guy walk into a bar. Who do you want to kick out first? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you guys
So-
don't bring this up. That doesn't.
But I will
make-
say this.
That means
I
you're
will
not
say this, though.
conspiracy.
Guy.
I will say this though. This is what I'm saying though. This was the whole beginning of this. If you think about it, this was the beginning of what we were talking about. This was the discussion, is how quickly it is to label somebody a conspiracist. How quickly it is to put them in that group with all the real conspiracists and say you're part of the crazies.
That's true.
So when you sit there and say, yes, I do believe there are conspiracies, I do believe there are radical conspiracies, I do believe there are people out there with social media platforms with 1 million followers that don't know what the hell they're talking about. Okay? But somehow they spew this stuff out of their mouth and the people eat it up.
I
Yeah.
agree with that.
And those are conspiracists. Those are the real conspiracists.
Yeah. I don't know how many times my mother has come to me and said, like, this and this is happening. We got to prepare. And I'm like, Mom.
You know how long Y2J's been happening?
Yeah.
I'm like, Mom,
do.
this is, I mean, like,
Y2J.
Mom, how many bags of rice do we have in the garage right now, bro?
You know, hey,
Wait,
look,
really?
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
I will say this before the show goes, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I would admit that, that I believe in a higher being, okay? I won't go into the religion aspects of who I believe in or what I believe in, but I will say this, the one thing that irks me about the religion that I believe in is the people, like I said, we have those radical conspiracies. We have those people within that sit there and say, oh, the end is coming, come. The end has been coming since the last 10 years, since you've been telling me every year that it was going to end. So
The end has been
stop,
coming since the
That's
day
what
stop-
Jesus was
frustrates me.
crucified.
so stop saying it and just, if you believe it, be prepared. Make sure that the people that you want to, you know what I'm saying, that are going
Yeah.
to believe it wholeheartedly are prepared with you. Just like the same way that if you believe in a zombie apocalypse, be prepared. Don't sit there and say, oh, it's coming this year. It's coming this year. Look at all the chemicals. You have nothing to go off of. But if you
I don't-
choose to believe it, that's fine. Prepare yourself and
Yeah.
do so in modesty, like I said.
I don't know how many times my brother, he's a very, very religious man. Very religious man. He's actually getting ready to go to Israel this month or next month for something. I'm not sure. But I don't know how many times he said, this date, something big's gonna happen. This date is gonna be the end. This date is, this and
So,
that.
yeah,
And
I get
nothing
it.
ever happens. Nothing ever
Yep.
happens.
Yep.
He's like, oh, you better prepare for this date, this date, this date. God
So,
came to me in
the
the
only
shower.
thing, the
Come
only
to-
thing that we can be certain of is bad things are happening, and they're happening every year, and they are happening more frequent. You know what I'm saying? If you, like I said, and that goes back to the beginning of this whole conversation where I said something feels off. You know what I'm saying? Something in the
Maybe.
universe, something in your life feels off. There's a reason why things are continuously happening. It feels like the years are getting shorter. Does everybody here not agree with that? Does it
'Cause
not
we're
feel like
getting
the
older,
years
man.
are? That's not.
They
you know,
are.
that's
It's
not
got
it.
to be it.
It's
Yeah,
just.
it is.
I'll tell you
Even
what
when I
it
was
is.
in
It's,
third grade, I remember how
you
quick.
want to
days
know what I
went
think it
by.
is? I think it's the fact that we are traumatized.
By all the shit that we get fed
I
to us
think-
on our news feeds and
I
crap.
think
that
the
we,
years have always felt short. I don't
the
think
years have
that
always felt short.
this year
That's just
is any
life.
different than any other year.
Yeah,
I think
agree
at
with
the end
Lars.
of the year, I'm always like, oh man, this year really flew by. Like I feel that way at every
Every
end
year,
of the
yep.
year. Yeah.
So how come you aren't enjoying?
I am enjoying
am
it. I'm
enjoying
just
it. Yeah,
saying
we're
that
enjoying it.
this feels like it's gone by quickly.
You're enjoying your years.
Fuck yeah,
For the most part.
I had a great year so far, dude.
So if we put your year on a balance of a scale, you would have enjoyment more than I don't
100%.
remember, I don't forget, I can't remember that day, or
Yeah,
If you ask me about a
So
specific day about my
365
year,
365
but the
days
day
in a
you
year.
don't have to enjoy or
so-
not enjoy your
but
day
let
for
me-
the
let-
24 hours to go
So
by.
out of the 365 days of the year, how many do you remember?
how many do
Who
you
gives a fuck?
remember?
I'm just
It
asking a
doesn't
simple
matter
question.
how many you remember. It remembers how full you make.
So just
each
answer the
day.
question then.
So it depends. You have to ask me about a specific
You have-
day. And
Yes, you
sometimes
give,
I have
give me
to
a
be like,
circumstance.
like
It's not my year, it's
do
your
you-
year.
Do you remember that day when this happened? I'd be like, yeah, I remember that.
But it's why would I be asking you about your year?
If you sit there and ask me, like, do you remember what happened on April
What do you-
30th, 1990?
It's just a simple question.
Like,
I don't get what you're getting
No.
at. Like, what's your end game to this question? It doesn't. It makes
I
no
just
sense.
wanted to know how much you enjoyed it. That's it.
I loved my year.
I don't think that determining enjoyment determines you remembering every single day of the
no,
year.
not at all.
All I was asking is if you could put it on a scale for me. That's all.
If I had to put it on a scale, I would say like 60-40.
Yeah, I had a 75% great year. Maybe 85, maybe even 90. Because there's a few times I fought with my boss, a few times my wife and I had a disagreement, but for the most part, my kids have been healthy and happy the whole time. Every night I come home,
Yeah.
I
So,
walk into a
yeah,
nice
that's-
house with
that's
food.
something. Yeah. 80,
You know,
40, 40, 20.
Yeah.
So good. So for the most part, we've all enjoyed our year.
Yes.
That's good. So on that note, the fact that we've all enjoyed most of our year, guys, and we can all agree on that. That's a good way. Now we all agree on something, right? There we go.
That's where you went with that. It was
That's where our
restaurant
common
Freon.
ground goes, right there.
Oh my God, you son of a bitch.
I
That's
fucking
it,
hate
right
my
there.
life. I hate my year. This year has sucked.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna give it to you right now. That was fucking awesome, dude. I hate you so much. I
Gotta
hate,
get their
I hate
brains
you
to
and I
shut
love
up,
you at
guys.
the same time.
I had to get their brains to stop. We're out of time.
All right, let's get out of here.
But guys, we appreciate it. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure that you like, follow, subscribe, and share our videos. Head on over to YouTube at PNS Studios, guys. That's PNS S Studios. Make sure you look at all of our upcoming shows, all of our new shows that we have out. Watch Spicy's Behind the Pint, and get ready for Monday's coming up, Critical Idiots. If you like D&D and you want to hear some storytelling,
Coming up. It's
that's
already been
exactly where you'll be. So,
Oh, this Monday.
as always, guys, I'm Phat.
I'm spicy.
This has been the Phat and Spicy Show. But yeah, dude. You thought I was gonna go
You're a
somewhere with
fucking dork, dude. You got me with that last one. I'm gonna dump this beer on your fucking head.
that? I wasn't seeing how far I could reel you guys in. It was just like you guys were like,
Mm.
come on.